Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. Good morning, say the goats and the roosters, and me. So saith all of us. Yes, I'm sure you were probably tired of listening to roosters and the goats, and now we've got the highway noise and the dogs, and sometimes you're going to get this, and other times you're going to get the fountain, and you're going to get crickets and coyotes, and you're going to get people and traffic. You just don't know. And sometimes it's going to be the same thing over and over again. And I'm sorry. I am. I guess not sorry enough to do my podcast at a different time where you didn't have to listen to this. So I guess I'm not that sorry. I love these noises. I like a lot of noises. There's what is the name of the show? I feel bad. It has Dax Shepard and, what is her name? I love her. She's freaking awesome. And she's also in, What Happens in Vegas with Cameron Diaz and Ashton Kutcher. And, she's like, you know why? Isn't her name Lake something? Shoot. Anyway, there's this show that they used to have, and it wasn't on very long, and I don't know why, because I thought it was really frickin' funny. And there's an episode where, they're from New York, and he actually inherits this. Dax Shepard inherits this farm in, I think it's Nebraska, pretty sure. Might be Oklahoma, but I think it's Nebraska. They inherit this farm, and but he's from there. He's from Nebraska, moves to New York, and she's from New York. And so she's really used to the sounds of city noise. She's very used to the sounds of traffic and a lot of people and just all the noises that come with living in, New York. And, so it's this episode that they're trying to sleep, and now they're in this place that's out in the country, and there's no one around, and it's quiet, and you hear different things. You're going to hear crickets and coyotes and stuff like that, and she can't sleep like that. She cannot fall asleep like that. So she puts on this, the sounds of New York. She falls asleep to the sounds of New York, the sirens, for real. There were sirens on there and cars and people yelling and honking. And that's how she fell asleep, because that was what, she's used to. And I kind of get that, because I grew up when I would stay with my grandparents, I would grow up. By the way, I guess I'm just getting into this. I realized that I was hi, good morning. By the way, blah, 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 blah. Damn. I didn't even give you any foreplay. I didn't even I just went right on into it. I'm so sorry, man. Anyway, hi, good morning. I hope you're having a good day. Anyway, back to it, because I'll forget. I grew up when I would stay at my grandparents with the sounds of the train, and I just got used to it, to where I would even sleep through. They usually would come through around the same time each day. And then when I moved to the areas I'm living in now, same thing. I can hear trains, and you just sort of get used to it. And they become almost comforting. And when I used to live in cities, I never liked that sound at all. But I think I've said this before, when I had a really amazing opportunity to go stay at a tree house in the middle of the jungle in Belize, my sons and I did. And oh my God, the sounds of the jungle, oh, fuck yeah. I slept better under a thatched roof where I knew tarantulas and snakes and geckos could get in. And somehow my kids and I slept better than we have ever slept in our lives. And I just love, I've said this before, I can sleep. We used to live on the coast forever, and I loved the sound. I love the sound of high wind and rain, storms. I love thunder and lightning. I love it. I can sleep like an absolute baby. When we had the big storm in 2007 in Seaside, and when we had a huge storm around here in 2018, 17, well, it wasn't a huge storm, but trees were falling everywhere. I slept. I love that. But I can't sleep to the sound of music, because I either want to sing along to it, It's just tones. It's tones and pitches. I think a lot of women are that way. So, I'm out here and you may be hearing goats. You're like, where are you going with that? But I'm out here and there's goats and roosters in the background and dogs, and some people are going to like that and they like farm noises, and other people are not huge fans. As much as I love nature and farms, I'm not a fan of livestock. I'm really not. I don't like chickens. Goats kind of creep me out. I want a goat. I do want a goat, but they also kind of creep me out. Sheep are creepy. I'm sorry, but sheep are not right. Sheep are like little... there's something wrong with sheep. I don't like them, you guys. I'm freaked out. I don't like emu. I mean, I guess emu aren't livestock. Well, they're probably livestock depending on what part of the world you're from. Like in Australia, they probably are. Not livestock, I suppose. But, you'll see them on a farm probably. I like cows, but at the same time, I'm like, they're kind of weird. I love them. I love all animals. Don't get me wrong. Love them. And I do like goats. I like a lot of them, but some of them are a little bit much for me. There's something about a goat and sheep and chickens. And I don't like pigs. I think pigs, they're mean little fuckers. They're smart. They're super smart. And when they're piglets, they're adorable. They're so freaking adorable. And I know you can train them to do stuff. But what kind of animal can eat your bones and does? I don't know. And I don't like bacon or pork. I don't like anything from a pig. It's gross. Look at what they eat, you guys. Ugh. So, but I love animals. I'm always going to care for animals. And, certain goats I find awesome. There's some kind of goats I don't mind, but sheep? No. Chicken? No. But I love the sounds chicken and sheep make. And I love watching goats. I think goats are so freaking entertaining. Oh my God, they crack me up. I could watch a goat. I'm sitting here watching them right now. That's why I was saying that. They're making me, oh, well, that was inappropriate. But they crack me up, So, point being, it's all about perspective, right? One person's trash is another person's treasure, and some people love the sounds of the city. My oldest son loves being in the city. He thrives. He likes to have access to doing things, He wants to have access to going to places, more options for jobs. And he likes the hustle and bustle, and he's very social. And so for him, the city he loves it, and he loves large cities, for the longest time. Actually, he probably still would love to move to Boston. He loves big cities. And hey, Apollo, leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. All right. Sorry. Good gravy. I'm sure you don't want to hear that all the time either. But I swear, every single time I start this. Anyway, we all have our thing, right? Some people like the city. I don't want to live in the city. I mean, it is kind of nice to visit once in a while. It is kind of nice to see the city lit up and be near all the action and, all of that. I can handle it for a day or two, I can handle it if I'm traveling and I'm in another country and I'm visiting. But I don't want to fall asleep to those noises. Now that I live where I live, I can hear different sounds. I'm not hearing crickets. I'm not hearing coyotes. And that bums me out because again, I was in Belize and we had the opportunity to stay at a tree house. Come on, Ted. And I honestly am petrified of spiders, but my son said the same thing. Everybody there, we had community meals. We would all gather. Everybody that was staying in these tree houses would have breakfast and dinner together, and we would play board games together with people from all over the world. And it was so fascinating to talk to people that were from the United States but in a different state than you're from, and people that were from different countries, and to share their point of view on what they think of each other's country and each other's state. And And to be pleasantly surprised when you hear, no, that's not what we think of America, or no, that's not what we think of Sweden or whatever. It's, it's nice to have that education and that point of view. And it's nice that it is diverse, that we have people that love the city. Because if we didn't, everybody would be invading the country, and we want to be in the country, and we don't want a bunch of people to take up our space. And just like them, people that love the city, I'm sure, are glad that there's country people, because otherwise we'd be in the city taking up their space. And it's a good thing there are people that like apartments and like being out in their own home, and people that love different things, different foods, and love living in different countries, and people that when you gather and you start hearing, like I met a gal from Switzerland, actually. She was an exchange student, and we got to talking, and she, honest to God, because keep in mind, this was back in 1990, right during Beverly Hills 90210 and all of that. And she, honest to God, thought that America was like that in Melrose Place. And I've gone to other countries, and they do. They think that. They think that every one of us are blonde-haired, blue-eyed, rich Americans. And now there's going to be the crazy, extreme people out there who are like, we are all white, crazy white, entitled, privileged. We're all privileged, entitled white people. And, obviously that's not true. There's not just white people in America. And there are privileged people. I say this all the time, I firmly believe, just my opinion, that if you are from America, if you were born and raised in America, and you are an American, or if you're an American citizen, you are automatically a lot more privileged than people born in numerous other countries. You automatically, every single person, whether you are Native American, Asian, Latino, black, white, whatever the hell your race is, whatever your religion is, whatever your political orientation, your sexual orientation is, especially your religious or sexual orientation, you are automatically a privileged person, not a privileged white person. You are automatically a privileged human. Again, especially if you are gay or Christian, or someone that likes to, like myself included, get on the internet and blab about your opinion and say your opinions, then you are automatically privileged and blessed to be an American citizen, because in many other countries, you cannot be gay, you cannot be Christian, you do not have the freedom of speech. And if you talk smack about their leaders, you will quite literally die. Leave it. Good, leave it, Paulo. Good boy. Go. So you're automatically privileged. So this white privilege thing is just atrocious. And thankfully that seems to be dying down a bit. The terminology, I don't think people say white privilege anymore. They just still say racist and, say, well, you're white, so blah, blah, blah. And it kills me, because if you go throughout history, white people, no, we're not privileged. Sorry. We've gone through a lot of shit. And lately, it has nothing to do, again, with color, shape, size. It has to do with your actions. It's your actions that get you into trouble. It's not Trump that gets you into trouble. It's not your mom that gets you in trouble. It's not your sister that gets you into trouble. It's not your boss. If you're the one doing something illegal, then you're the one that needs to be held accountable, right? Oh man, do I get that there are times that you want to punch someone. I just said it on my last podcast. There are times you want to punch someone so frickin' bad because they just piss you off. And maybe they really deserve it. Maybe they genuinely are just shitty people. Still does not mean that we can punch people or assault people. It's not an excuse. It may be a reason. It may be a really, really, really good reason, but it certainly isn't an excuse. And I know that if I punch someone, like I said I want to, that I have consequences. I'm not going to blame the person that I punched. However, again, when you have that sibling who just is relentless and they will not stop, they're like, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. And they just follow you around being insanely obnoxious for the entire purpose of pissing you off. And they do nothing but pick and pick and pick and poke and poke and poke. And you try and you ignore and you use your words and you communicate and you're calm, and none of those things work. Sometimes people need a fucking slap in the face. Doesn't make it right. It's still considered assault. But damn, it feels really fucking good. But we're not allowed to do it, unfortunately. Kind of wish that was allowed. Because how else do you stop? Honest to God, if you try everything and you're like, leave me alone, please. Please leave me alone. Please, could you stop? I really don't like it when you do that. That really frustrates me when you do that. Please stop. And then you ignore them and you ignore them and you say nothing. And you try to close a door and they keep knocking on the door, or they throw stuff at your window, or they stalk you on the internet, because now that's the fun thing. People can find you. They can just find you. They can dox you. They can do all kinds of things now. So you can't even have privacy anymore. And people think that they're entitled to be on your property harassing you and somehow have no consequences, and you're trapped because, again, people don't accept your beliefs. People don't want you to have a different point of view. We're becoming a cult society. For the people, it's really funny. The extreme left is like, we shouldn't label, diversity, we shouldn't label, while they are labeling everything. We have 479,000 labels now. We have more labels and boxes with people in them. We're just putting everybody in a box. That's the opposite. I remember United Colors of Benetton. I remember that I'm not a millennial. Oh my God, shame on me. I'm Gen X. The good guys, the cool kids. Just kidding. I mean, we are cool, but it's really frustrating because we got away from that. And everything I felt before George Floyd was fantastic. Hey, leave it. Good, leave it. Yes. Everything was great. We were all kumbaya, peace, love, having a good time, partying like it's 2016 or whatever the fuck it was. I'm sorry. I actually don't even remember. But now, leave it. Leave it. Good, leave it. Now we're just being annoying and going out of our way to put a label on every damn thing. It's very, very, very frustrating. And it's good gravy. It's frustrating, and I thought it was what we were trying to get away from. Why can't we just be like, hey, you can fall asleep to the sound of city? Leave it. Oh, good gravy. I'm sure you guys aren't. I'm sure you're real sick of that. But, it was before George Floyd, I feel like things were pretty okay. And then somehow we just got all angry. And we were just all, relax. Jesus. Like, seriously, why? Why? Can you just go see a counselor? Can you find your peace? Can you find your peace? Stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. It's not your business. It's only your business if it starts affecting you, like what the left is doing. The left is forcing everybody in the world. People will literally be flashing. There were nude, naked people in the streets of Portland. Ding-along, ding-dongs and breasts and vaginas just hanging out for minors to see. And this is somehow okay. And if other people have a problem with that, whatever happened to flashing You're not allowed to flash. You're not allowed to pee in public. You're not allowed to be intoxicated in public. But a group of people, hundreds of people, can be walking and riding around literally naked, totally naked, with their dicks hanging out, their breasts hanging out, their vajayjays hanging out in public, and that's okay. But if I go outside right now and flash myself at someone, I go to jail. What? Like, this is, so if it affects me, if I'm in a bathroom with a dude, or I'm an Olympian trying to compete against a dude, if I'm a woman and I don't want some Islamic crazy person that hates women, when it starts affecting my safety and my children's safety, it affects people, then that's a problem. But otherwise, mind your business. It has nothing to do with you. It's not about you. Let's all get back to minding our business and doing us and figuring out what we can do to make ourselves happy, at peace. I mean, again, on my last episode, I'm like, I understand that being angry does not solve anything. I need to find peace within myself. I need to work on myself. I realize punching somebody is not something that I'm promoting. I know it's bad. I know it's wrong. I know it doesn't resolve a dang thing. Violence doesn't. I just said, man, it would feel good. And we get wrapped up in that and what feels good. That's why drugs feel good to people. Sex feels good to people. Sometimes telling someone off and smacking someone because they're just absolutely deserve it feels good. Sometimes doing the wrong thing feels good. But doesn't make it right. Just because it feels good doesn't mean it's the right thing to do, you know? I don't know. I just want to point out that we genuinely should remember how we have flaws, how we value our opinions, how we want people to respect our opinions, how we don't want to conform and change our entire lives for someone else's point of view because we value our beliefs. So we shouldn't expect someone else to completely rearrange their life and completely disregard and disown their own religious beliefs or political or sexual, orientation just because it makes us unhappy. What do we have to do with it? We need to worry less about how other people need to do. What the hell? What are you doing? What are we doing? I've done it. I've definitely been guilty of being like, other people need to stop. I mean, I guess I'm currently doing it right now, right? We all do it. And I need to stop if I'm acting that way. I can admit it, though. I can apologize. So let's just remember that some people like the sound of the roosters and the goats and the farm life. Some people like the city life sounds. Some people believe in God. Some people don't. Some people are short. Some people are fat. See where I'm going with this? It doesn't matter. It only matters if we make it matter or if other people try to force it down our throats. So don't be one that tries to cram it down someone's throat. No one wants to be deep-throated, okay? Deep-throated by your opinions, okay? I know that's vulgar and crass. Sorry. I'm going to make sure I label this explicit. So no children should be listening to this. No children should ever listen to my podcast, by the way. What is wrong with you if you have kids listening to my podcast? I am not appropriate. I'm barely appropriate for adults, right? The roosters are like, yeah, she's freaking inappropriate. That's why we're over here being like, flag on the play. That's politically incorrect. They've been yelling at me. They're probably a bunch of leftists in here. Are you guys a bunch of lefties? I'm just kidding, lefties. I genuinely do not give a shit. I really want people to understand and know I really, really do not care. I will talk to, be friends with, help out, listen to people that believe in things that I don't believe in. I really don't give a crap if you're gay. I have a trillion gay friends. Don't care. I do not care if you are Black, Native American, what your race is. I don't care how short or skinny you are. I know I have said things that overweight people need to stop complaining about their knees and stuff like that. And I'm saying that because it's frustrating when it's like, listen, you should love yourself. You're still a good person. You're still beautiful. You should still have self-worth and value. But don't act like you can't work if your knees hurt. You know, that's all I'm saying. Just like anybody, there's lots of people that use fake things to try to get, what they want. And I don't want you to shove you being transgender or gay or a Democrat or a Catholic or, loving jalapenos down my throat. I want us to go, look, you like spam. I don't like spam. Or you're Catholic. I'm not. And we can all live in harmony. I don't care if you're transgender. I do care if you're a man that comes into the female bathroom. I do care if you're a man that competes in female sports. I care if you're a female that competes in male sports in the sense that, now here's where I am going to say, I have no problem with high schools that do not offer, say, female football. Say they don't have enough girls and enough teams in other leagues to be able to make a football team for women. I am okay with a woman being in high school or maybe college and being in a sport that they do not offer for females. But when you get into the professional, I don't. And when you get in professional, I do not. And I kind of have a problem. I know people are going to go, that's really hypocritical. But I'm like, look, I only believe in it if she can absolutely 1000% hold her own and compete. She still has to try out. She has to try out. She has to make the cut and make the cut honestly, not just because she's a female, not a DEI situation. She has to literally be able to take a hit. Her doctor needs to understand that is really going to take a toll on her body. It's going to harm her body totally differently than a man. And she has to understand that men can't take it easy on her. Men will have to play at full speed. It can't impede, they can't curtail to her. But then once it gets in the professional level, again, that's when you need to form a female league. But I don't think those females, by the way, should be allowed into the locker rooms of the boys. And I don't think the boys should shower with females. But you don't really see that. You don't see females wanting to go into male prisons. And you don't really see females wanting to do male sports as in play with the men when it comes to football or when it comes to certain sports, like as in compete with them, like co-ed. Now, there are some sports women do because, of course, it's not as, like you're probably not going to do rugby or football or boxing because, of course, that's contact sport that's a lot different. So anyways, my point is I accept people. I really do. I do believe in diversity. I do believe in you do you, Scotty P, really. I love everybody. I care if you're an asshole. That's what I care about. I don't care if you're a white asshole and a Republican asshole. There are plenty of Republicans and Trump supporters I don't care for. There are plenty of Christians I don't care for. There are plenty of white people I don't care for. So it has nothing, and there's plenty of females I don't care for. So it doesn't have anything to do with me being an ist or having an obia. I don't have any kind of phobia. I'm not any kind of an ist, like a racist or a fascist or, any of those things. I just am a human that doesn't like buttheads. Don't be a butthead. That's how we're going to end this. Don't be a butthead. And if someone else is a butthead, keep walking. Keep walking. You don't have to say anything. It isn't your place. Now, if that person's harming someone else, you shouldn't take out your phone and start recording it. What you should do is step in. Then you should step in. If someone's being a butthead and they're harming someone else, stop recording it. stop fucking recording it. Call the police and intervene. So, don't be a butthead. And, a good way of not being a butthead is listening to the ramblings of an insomniac. That is awesome. The goats are agreeing. That's how you say, listen to the ramblings of an insomniac in goat, right? Oh, okay. I was kind of hoping you would back me up there, but okay. Anyway, yeah. So thank you very much. Until next time,